It's official. OpenAI has now published GPT-4, a significant update to its existing GPT-3 series model, which many of us know as what ChatGPT uses. GPT-4 is a massive improvement over GPT-3. Here's why. Number one, GPT-4 has significantly greater creativity than GPT-3. Number two, GPT-4 has this concept of visual input. So instead of just having to input text, you can actually input an image. Number three, GPT-4 can handle much more text. Previously, GPT-3 handled around 3,000 words of text. GPT-4 can handle closer to 25,000. Currently, GPT-4 is accessible via two methods. Number one, there is a waitlist to get access to an API for it. And number two is for ChatGPT Plus users. On OpenAI's website, they claim that GPT-4 is their most advanced system, producing safer and more useful responses. My first impression is I totally agree with them on this statement. Here's an example that OpenAI is highlighting that GPT-4 can do that GPT-3 could never do. And that is, you take this photo, and you see all these balloons here, and they're attached by this string to this weight here. What would happen if the strings were cut is the prompt that you give the model, and the model can infer based on looking at the image that the balloons would fly away. Wow, that is incredible. Logical inference based off of both text and image into a cohesive response, that's just incredible. Looking at a few more examples of this, here's where GPT-4's creativity comes into play. Explain the plot of Cinderella in a sentence where each word has to begin with the next letter of the alphabet from A to Z. If you look, it's doing exactly that. I don't know about you, but if I were told to do that, I would really struggle for quite a while, whereas GPT-4 is capable of doing that. That is incredible. Or here in this example, where you're taking a photo of ingredients you may have in your fridge or on the counter, and it's giving you a list of things that you can make based off of what all is in the image. And then in this example, it's talking about how you can paste in significantly more words into the prompt, and it will be able to determine a reasonable answer based off of significantly more data. For the programmers within us, that's super exciting. Now we can put in even more context to our code so that the AI can generate more useful information. This is another example where OpenAI is comparing GPT-4 versus ChatGPT, which is currently running GPT 3.5. You can see that when you give it the same input and you're asking it to do some logical reasoning, GPT 3.5 aligns the text with what the prompt said, but then it incorrectly states the time frame that all of these people could meet up. Whereas in GPT-4, it succinctly states the correct answer. Again, from a programming stance, that really excites me because as we've seen, ChatGPT can sometimes give incorrect logical information within our code. If the logic of GPT-4 is significantly stronger than it was for 3.5, we might have even better code than we did before generated from the tool. And the last thing I want to highlight here on OpenAI's product page is that already companies are building applications with GPT-4. I'm an avid Duolingo user because I like to learn other languages, aside from just programming languages. So I'm learning Spanish right now, and I'm really excited to see that Duolingo is looking to incorporate GPT-4. And I'm even seeing this note here that says that the government of Iceland is looking to use GPT-4 to preserve its language. That's crazy. So what does the community think about GPT-4? There's a group over here that's super duper stoked and happy to see AI advancing and wants to use the latest and greatest models available. Then there's a group over here, which is a good chunk of the open source scientific community, which is critical of OpenAI because they chose not to divulge very much information about how this model was created and trained. I can see both sides to the argument, but I find it interesting that GPT-4 is much more secretive compared to GPT-3. As a programmer, one thing that really excites me is OpenAI also demonstrated making a website based off of a simple doodle drawing of a UI. This is really exciting for the programming community because now it makes programming more approachable for everyone. Here's an example of someone's Pokemon game that they made using GPT-4, probably from some initial mock-ups. So I can select Pikachu and Charmander, and I can see that Pikachu won in this case. It's a super simple example, but the point being, you can look at all of this code that was generated for us. And the big thing is now we don't have to worry about as much of the boilerplate logic as much as we may have used to in the past as programmers. This is super exciting stuff, guys, and I'm stoked to get into using GPT-4 more. So, what are your thoughts? Is GPT-4 as big of an advancement as everyone's saying? Personally, I think while the model is still susceptible to things like hallucination, it's an incredible step forward in the area of AI because now we can interpret both text and images and put that together into a single written response. That's just incredible to me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. Thank you everyone for watching. It'll be interesting to see where GPT-4 goes, and I hope to make more videos about this in the future. Thanks and have a good day. Take care.